It is May, and Coach Prime and the Buffs are landing themselves some recruits. Here we go. And prime time on primetime television? Gotta roll that dang intro, baby. We gotta talk about it. Come on. I flushed my juice down in the club. 6'5", 255 pounds. Gavin Mueller, 3-star tight end, has committed to the Buffs. We talked about him earlier this week, saying that he would be committing later on in this week. Well, here we are later on in this week, and bam, he has committed over the likes of Wisconsin, Notre Dame, and a few others that were in the final mix here for Gavin Mueller. Now, we talked about his recruiting, kind of in the lower end. Not much film on him because he just got into the sport as a junior, played his first season as a junior, but has a ton of upside and a lot of potential. I think basketball was his first sport, has that above-the-rim athleticism that can translate from the court to the field. Great wingspan, has great eyesight when tracking the ball on the field as well. So a lot of the analysts like what he's able to do. Look, tight ends, this is kind of what you find out. Like I told you before, it's hard to find a big, true 5-star tight end. They're getting more and more lucrative, just like anything is, right? They're starting to become more blossom and more polished. But most kids don't wake up and choose to be a tight end, right? They're kind of just placed there because they're the biggest guy, but they've got to have some athleticism, and they find a way to make it work. Tight ends take some time to kind of flourish and get into it. So I like this pickup a lot. He'll have an entire senior year to really focus on it, sharpen on his craft, go to camps. This is no problem at all, in my opinion. Great pickup here for the Colorado Buffs to get on an early start to the 2026 recruiting class, and a very early commit, to say the least. We talked about it. Feels like the Buffs are taking an aggressive approach to previous Buff approach to recruiting, i.e. since Coach Prime has been there, which, look, I think you have to adapt and evolve as the times are coming towards you. And although there was one way before about, hey, strictly portal, I think that's still going to be a method of madness. But don't go away, don't shy away from this recruiting class, especially now that you've established yourself in Boulder. Especially now that you've established one hell of a coaching staff that's just going to want to get people there organically. People want to go see what's going on here and see, is this the real deal? They've got some Hall of Famers on this staff. I at least want to go check it out. And then once those things start rolling in, it starts laying the land, it's going to be huge. Coach Prime landed themselves a massive deal with Netflix. He was on Amazon Prime with Jackson State, but now moving into the prime time real estate time slot with Netflix. Is looking to be about 3 60-minute episodes. Now, what it's going to be about, I haven't seen that yet. I assume it's going to follow them around during the season or some sort of madness. Here's how I look at this, okay? Netflix is much bigger, and it's weird to say this, but Amazon Prime, although he had a show to Amazon Prime, I just don't feel like I got enough love. It just, I checked it out, but it just didn't have the hype behind it. 3 episodes, the sweet spot on Netflix. In this world of recruiting, in this new world, this new age, just another way of recruiting, another way of getting the name out there, another way of just another opportunity to see Coach Prime on your television screen. So it's going to be must-watch TV, as I'm sure everyone will watching it. Unfortunately, we got to wait a year till this bad boy comes out. But I don't mind it. We'll get through the summer. There's a documentary dropping this summer, actually, following, I believe it's SEC teams. I believe so. It's college football teams. That's going to be electric to watch. Cannot wait to see that. And of course, we have the football season. So we'll have plenty of things to distract ourselves with until this drops. It'll honestly be coming out at the perfect time, if I got to be honest with you. And last little recruitment bit here. Javar Carr, I believe is how it's pronounced. 4-star offensive lineman. This was his quote. I definitely could see myself playing at Colorado. I love what they have going on with the coaching staff. They've already been to where I'm trying to get. Big time stuff. Again, we've talked kind of a little bit over the last couple of episodes about this recruiting week and how big it was. And again, it feels like the momentum, the energy seems to be a bit different. They got a lot of guys in early on, these first 2 weekends of May. The next 3 weeks, 4 weeks here, 5 weeks or so is when other schools are starting to have their official visits. Colorado took a very aggressive approach. I love the approach. Let's set the piano on fire. Okay, that's the analogy here, if you know what I'm talking about. With the great balls of fire, go out there and first and just light it on fire. Do such a bang-up job that nobody can live up to the standard. Okay, now you always like to have that last visit because you can kind of reel them in. You feel like you can do some things because maybe that first visit gets forgotten. There's a challenge there, but you're able to light it on fire. Right now, it seems that Colorado has lit some fire amongst some of these kids. So we'll continue to watch it. We'll continue to see how it goes. Some kids are starting to commit, like we said. May, June, and then into July a little bit seems to be the committing cycle. We just had the number 1 tackle Well, now he dropped a few spots. And Jackson Cantwell committing to Miami yesterday, which just threw things for a frenzy because Georgia seemed to be leading the way. Almost had a 1-2 punch with the top quarterback and top offensive lineman. But Miami said, here's the bag. No, no, no. It's going to be a fun recruiting season, as it always is. But it just seems like it always finds a new way to get even more and more exciting. You know what to do. Smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace and love, baby.